Okay, well, welcome everyone to the Community Connections Team information session at Innovation Hub. We're really glad to have you all here today. So just a quick land acknowledgement. We wish to acknowledge this land in which the University of Toronto operates for thousands of years. It has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and the Mississauga of the Credit. Today, this meeting place is still home to many Indigenous people across Turtle Island, and we're grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land. And on the screen, I have a little quick picture of Emmanuel College Quad, because, this is one of the ways of how I like to connect with the land. As members of the University of Toronto, you also have the opportunity to learn about the land you reside at nativeland.ca, where you get to interact and learn more about the people who live here. Just doing a little bit of a quick access check. One of the things that we do here at Innovation Hub is that we want to make sure that every space that we reside, even if it's virtual, that we make sure that every participant has an opportunity to participate fully. So if there's anything about the space that we should address now, and if there's any access needs that might affect your participation in the session that we could also address. Mind you, you can also give your comments privately, directly, if you would like to, in the Zoom chat, or virtual, or speak out loud if you like. Okay, I don't think so, but if anything that pops up and if any concerns that you may have, feel free to let us know. Thank you. So, for today, we're going to be doing a quick for the agenda. We're going to be talking a little bit about Innovation Hub and what we do here. We're also going to do a little quick introduction about design thinking, because that is a big part of what innovation does. Afterwards, we're going to cover what this community connection volunteer program is all about and what you're here for, as well as how to apply. And then we'll have some time afterwards for any question you may have. So quickly, doing some quick introductions, please feel free in the chat to put your name, your pronouns, and role or program at UofT. This session, mind you, is being recorded as well. Please mute yourself if you aren't speaking, and there will be time at the end for questions if we can't answer them in the chat. I just want to make sure for Julia, the recording is going, right?
Yeah.
I'm not noticing it. Okay, thank you. All right. Okay. As people continue to put their introductions in the chat, I think we'll continue. And with that, I will pass it on to Julia.
Yeah, thanks. So grateful to see all of you today. I wanted to share with you our leadership team here. You can see myself there. My name is Julia Allworth. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the manager of the Innovation Hub. I've been here since we started back in 2016. So we've been around almost 10 years. And we have a great leadership team. You can see Catherine up there, who you've already met, and Ruth, and who's our research lead, Arshdeep, who's our communications and operations lead, and two of our team leads, Maxine, who is leading our design research team, the supporting student leaders to create change project, and Brooklyn, who is leading both of our documentaries this year. We have two documentaries, Neurodivergent at UofT and Global Change Makers. Welcome to all of you. I see as you introduce yourself in the chat, and who knows, maybe you'll see someone you know here or make a new friend today. So feel free to introduce yourself. And Winter, thank you. We can probably change your name for you, so we can help you with that. And just I can do that for you. We can go on. Okay, great. So I want to give you a bit of an overview of the Innovation Hub and what we do here. You can see some photos of our team members working in our space, some of our workshops, and days that we get together to do different art projects and things like that. But what is the Innovation Hub? We're a lot of things, but we define ourselves as a student-driven research collective that takes a peer-to-peer approach to understanding students. And the way that we do that is primarily through human-centered design thinking, which is both a method and a mindset, and I'll talk about that in a little while. And what we do is partner with divisions and departments at U of T who hire us to work on real design projects and understand student experiences. We have a co-created mission, vision, and values, which are very important to us, so we love to share them. Our mission is to improve campus life through student-centric design with a vision for a campus experience designed for every student to flourish academically, socially, and personally. And we have our values, which are accessibility by design. We try to be accessible in everything we do, and we're always looking at how we can improve that. And with that comes equity, diversity, and inclusion. We really strive to create spaces where people can come and be themselves and feel included. And that's very important to the work that we do. A lot of the projects that we work on are also EDI related. We listen to student experiences with a view to inspiring people who are decision makers here at U of T with that data. And most importantly, we love to learn together. We are a community of learners who know that there's just so much to know and that we don't know what we don't know. And so this is our guiding principles. We have 5 domains of innovation that give scope to our work. Essentially, every project we work on would fall within one or more of these domains, which is access for every student, both access to education, but also within programs and services and resources in education. There's fostering connectedness between students and each other, but also between students and the university. Future ready students is not just about careers, it's about that idea of how can we gain the confidence to feel ready for the next step in life. We have lots of projects that focus on that. Whole student development is about our wellness in those 8 dimensions of wellness. And integrated learning experience is how classroom learning connects to life and integrates with all aspects of our life. So those are our 5 domains. I can't talk about the Innovation Hub without talking about equity. I've mentioned this already, but we really, really do strive to be a space that furthers equity, diversity, and inclusivity. And a big part of our work in design thinking is about building empathy. So we really appreciate the uniqueness of every person and want folks to feel welcome in our space. And we also want to urge the university to continue to strive for equity, diversity, and inclusivity. It's really important to what we do. Some of our research, some of our recent projects include supporting student leaders to create change. So this is a project with the Office of the Vice Provost Students, where we're looking at the university's relationship with students in leadership positions that are involved in governance. And so this is about how students are empowered to create change here at the university and insights into that working relationship. And like I said before, we have our 2 documentaries. There's Neurodivergent at University, which is going to follow the stories of 6 neurodivergent students in their daily lives with a view to hopefully broadening faculty and staff perspectives on experiences of students with autism and ADHD and other otherwise identifying as neurodivergent. And finally, we have our Global Changemakers documentary, where we're going to follow 6 students who are change makers in the world somehow and look at how they're doing that and what they're doing. So as Catherine mentioned, I want to talk just very briefly about design thinking at the Innovation Hub. So why design thinking and what the heck is it anyway? There's two things I like to say about design thinking. One is it's about designing with people rather than for people. So we bring the people into the process. And why do we do that? Because people support what they create. So every project we work on really is peer-to-peer. At its core, design thinking is a methodology for innovation, but this is what it's really about. Our design research, and again, you can see lots of friendly faces from our teams. This is mostly from last year, but we're really human-centered in our work. People are central to everything we do. We understand that innovation these days involves AI, and there's a lot of different tools, but we're really trying to keep the humanity in design and really focus on being human-centered in our approach. We also really value creativity and imagination. And so our design research, really we try to get as creative as possible and provide spaces where we can really think outside the box. We have a lot of creative people who work here. And we also know that creativity comes in many forms. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be artistic. I have met people who are creative with data, creative with solving problems, creative with processes. So much creativity and imagination happens here, and it doesn't always come in the typical package. And I think probably most importantly, or what people love to hear about, is that our design research really does lead to change. These are examples of projects that we've worked on that have created something meaningful at the university. So the Robarts fourth floor, if any of you've been there, you will know that it was renovated a few years ago, and our team did all of the research behind what is needed in library spaces and what libraries mean to students that informed that redesign. So you can find that report on our website, but when you go to that space, you can know that we were the ones to talk to students to give the inspiration for how the space is designed today. And very soon we'll be seeing the Robarts fifth floor, which we also had the pleasure to work on. We also were grateful enough to be able to contribute the idea of chill spots. So in our very first work, year at the Innovation Hub, our team came up with this idea of what if we took underutilized spaces and turned them into places where students could just be, and the Clara Benson Pool Gallery is an example of one of the spaces that was designed using the Student Space Enhancement Fund that came as a result of our Chill Spots idea. And since then, the university has invested millions in creating chill spots across the campus. So hopefully you take advantage of some of them. And that is also tri-campus. So there's chill spots on every one of the 3 campuses. We've also recently launched a supporting student parents microsite. This is a site geared towards actually faculty and staff about how to best support students who are also parents. And our 2 documentaries that have been released to date, actually, the first was released last year, International Students First 48 Hours in Canada. It got lots of media attention, lots of coverage. It's a great little documentary if you haven't seen it. And launching very soon this November is our International Students Life After Graduation documentary that follows the lives of 6 international students who've now graduated and are living in various parts of the world. So both very inspiring.
Thank you, Julia, for that wonderful overview of what Innovation Hub is all about. And I hope that inspires you to be interested for the Community Connection volunteer term. So, to talk about, why should you volunteer? So a lot of what Innovation Hub, focuses on is making sure that we can create a space where students can actually grow and develop new skills and opportunities in a way to sort of learn outside of the classroom. Another way of it, we also try to provide an opportunity where students can connect with other students and like-minded ideas and learn new ways and new ideas and how to contribute to the university and make an impact. Also, volunteers at Innovation Hub will be receiving curricular recognition. so that, when we looking for opportunities and putting that into your resumes is also a great way to get experience. So some of the qualities that we look for in volunteers are just essentially the willingness to learn new skills, and that, having the opportunity to, develop some of your workplace skills that you can use for the future. Being able to be open to feedback and being able to know that, like when we have one idea, we can always go back to it and changing things. Being passionate about student experiences. Obviously we're all students here, and that we have, I'm sure all of you have great ideas on what ways and how we can improve the student experience, and so we would value that. We also value volunteers who take initiative, who are respectful of other students, people who are, willing to learn from failure and move forward, people who are responsible to emails and are essentially looking for new experiences and being organized and accountable, and of course, ask questions. Some of the things that you'll be doing as a community connections volunteer is that you'll be basically organizing very different, I would say, projects or events. So what some of the monthly events that we will be organizing that that you'll be assisting me with will be iHub socials. These are socials that are both internal and as well as external. So, working with the iHub team, but also interacting with students, faculty, and staff outside of the Innovation Hub. We also host special events. So these are equity events. So stuff like the Orange Shirt Day event, having an event focusing on LGBTQ students, as well as Black History Month, are just examples of like our special events that we like to pay homage to. We also are going to be bringing back innovation hours, which is essentially a coffee shop sort of conversation where students, faculty, and staff can interact and come up with ideas on how we can improve the student experience. And most importantly, we're going to be hosting the 10th anniversary of Innovation Hub in May. So you'll be collaborating with me and with the team on how we can brainstorm that idea and bring it to life, and how we can, in May. You won't probably will be doing much else, but in terms of like making sure coming up with the event plan and just all sorts of things. Now let's talk about how can you get involved. So first off, this is a brand new program at Innovation Hub, which is why we wanted volunteers so that we can provide more opportunities for students, and so that we can also take full advantage of all our programming and events. We want to be able to, provide an opportunity to develop your skill sets, and so that you can take those skills that you are learning here, Innovation Hub, and apply it to future workplace experiences. And so we also are, it's open to all UofT students and recent graduates. And in terms of giving you an idea of like what the commitment is like, it's only going to be once a week for 2 hours. There will be a more of a breakdown in the later slides of like when you have a slot, a time to drop in and where you'll be able to work. And also the volunteer session, we're breaking it up by the fall and winter. So it's going to be for this session, it's going to be for 2 months from October 6th to December 5. Oh, hang on. So how can you get involved? So first off, some of you've already filled this out, but we would encourage those of you haven't yet already to fill out the Microsoft form. This is just a simple questionnaire to kind of get to know you, and to demonstrate your interest in applying. You can please submit the application form by September 2020. At 26 by 11:59 p.m. Our applications are still open, of course, and that we really want to be able to have all of the applications so we can screen them and select our volunteers by October 3rd, so that all of our volunteers who are been selected will be able to attend our orientations sessions, which are going to be happening between October 6th and October 9th. So in terms of the logistics, we really would like to have our volunteers to be able to come in person at our office at 230 College Street on the third floor of the Student Commons. You, as a volunteer, you'll be able to select one of these co-working times. So on Mondays, we'll have it from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Tuesdays is 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Wednesdays is from 2 to 4 p.m. And then Fridays, oops, if I didn't cover that, but it's 2 to 4. And so again, you will have the opportunity to select which of these days you will be free. If you want to make it a regular occurrence, you can do that based off of your schedule. But if you aren't able to attend one of these days, you can always come to the next one. So that we want to make it flexible, and so that our volunteers will, we don't want to put too much stress on you guys. So we really would like to have an opportunity for you guys to participate. Again, the program dates are from October 6th to December 5, and just in terms of a general idea of like when it is, yeah. So again, some important in-day information. Please fill out the form by September 26th at 11:59 p.m. This is your chance for you to be able to let us know about your interests about the program, how you want to volunteer, what opportunities you are interested in terms of event coordination, what experience you may have. We want to learn all about you and be able to have you participate in the program. And of course, you can also subscribe to our blog if you want to learn more about Innovation Hub and what we do here. I do encourage you to check out our blogs on our website and our projects.